Hello and welcome to Hollywood Approved with Stacey and Yael. Each episode is an exploration of taste as we dive into the good, the bad, and the unexpected in TV and movies. Tune in for the celebrity guests. Stay for the surprising recommendations. This is Hollywood Approved. Yay! Hello and welcome. Stacey, how are you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you, Yael?
I'm so excited to be back. I'm excited to be doing the show, and I'm excited to have you joining me as my new co-host. And we are starting off with a guest, which is very exciting. We have a wonderful actress coming from Toronto. That's right. You know me, always pull it in my Canadian friends. This is Athena Park. Hello, welcome, Athena.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. You have quite a few projects going on right now. Let's start with Holly Hobbie because I'm an adult. Stacey is an adult, and this show is for children, younger folks.
Oh, YA, yeah.
YA. Sorry, I feel old when I say YA. I don't know why. Athena, tell us about Holly Hobbie.
Yeah. Well, Holly Hobbie, the main character, is basically this small town girl who writes music to fix bigger world problems. And she does that step by step, but it really shows the viewers that they can make any change if they consistently do it over time. And I play Savannah Rigg, who is one of her friends in the show, and we all go to high school together. And I started off as her bully. Amazing. And then I go on to and then by the 5th season, I actually become one of her best friends. So there's so many different things throughout the show through the 5 seasons that viewers can learn and understand. It's actually amazing. Yeah.
Now, what platform is that on?
This is on Hulu in America, and then in Canada, it's on Family Channel.
Very good.
So I love a story of a bully who becomes the friend. Tell me about playing a bully, because most people who play bad guys are usually really great, nice people. And not to say that bullies are bad guys per se, but tell me about how do you go into this role?
Well, actually, to be honest, it was a lot about looking at my childhood in a way, because I wouldn't say that I was specifically targeted on by a bunch of bullies, but everyone knows that bully because they can think of one from their own experiences, whether that be for a long-term bully or a very short-term, just one comment kind of bully. I just got to think of when I was in elementary school, and I was like, hey, all of these people kind of ring a bell. And then I read somewhere, I really want to give credit to this person, but it really changed my mind. It was, find a way to fall in love with your character, because if you fall in love with your character, then you'll agree with all of the choices they make, even if they are right and wrong. Yeah. So, and then I was like, it actually made me, forgive all of my childhood bullies, because I actually saw the nice side of who they were, because I forced myself to love Savannah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Is there something that Savannah does that maybe was hard for you to wrap your head around her decision?
Definitely. I always used to be so scared of improv, but recently I have fallen in love with improv because of Savannah. She is such a free spirit, and the writing is amazing. Sarah Galinsky, she made Savannah, my character, so on the ball and spontaneous in such a natural way that was actually really hard for me, because it's not that my dialogue was improv. It was more, let's try a different reaction every time, or more like. So I had to think a lot of on the spot, just to think of how many different ways to do this. Yeah.
What's it like kind of being in a collaborative environment like that, where you actually get the opportunity to kind of make those different choices?
Oh, it's a dream come true. Really, that's a dream come true, because in an audition, you can go in and you can do it your way of thinking about it. But at the end of the day, the audition, they have full control of it and how it goes. But then when you're on set, you actually feel, okay, wow, I can say something that I really want to say, and you feel comfortable saying it, but it's different in the audition.
Wow. Do you get to apply some of your improv skills to your other project, The Swearing Jar?
Oh, totally, totally. Oh, I love the swearing jar. I love the swearing jar so much. It actually means so much to me because that was the first um, entertainment other than music, like on its own. Like this, I sang while I was in a scene, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's such a big honor because I sing in one of the scenes where the main character, Carrie, my music teacher, who I play Robin, she's my music teacher, and she actually goes through a really dramatic and very, very sad time in her life. And I sing that dramatic song in the background. And so that really meant a lot to me just because I feel like the song in an important scene is so important.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I got to sing that song. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, and
tell us.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
improv.
going to say,
Yeah. I
tell
think
us about the swearing jar in general. Like,
oh,
what's the kind of basic plot for it?
yeah, well, Carrie, my music teacher, I play Robin, like I said. Um, yeah, she goes about it's more of like a family growing movie. You see how all of these characters grow together and they all go through well, the main character goes through a very sad time in her life, and all the other characters sort of grow around her and see
Mm.
how it can change. And you see sort of um, everything change when one thing changes in the middle, kind of like a puzzle or like a gear shifting. If that makes sense. But yeah, it's actually a really nice, heartwarming movie. Yeah.
Now, how does the swearing jar get introduced? What's the role of the swearing jar in the movie?
I
Or we'll
won't
have
say.
to see.
You
Oh,
have to see.
okay. I can't wait. Where's that showing?
It is coming into theaters in America, and I think you'll be able to watch it somewhere. I'm not sure yet in Canada, but I know that it's going to be in theaters in the States.
Do
And
we
do
know
we have a
when?
date yet?
Sometime in September. I'm not sure, but close to that realm ish. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we should change gears a little bit and talk about the
Oh,
things that we have been. Oh, no,
real
we're
quick,
not
y'all.
ready.
September
Yes.
23rd, The Swearing Jar will be in
Okay.
select theaters.
Thank you, Stacey,
Thank
Mhm.
you.
coming in with the answers for us.
There we
All right.
go.
Well, let's talk about what it is that we have been watching and viewing and loving. So we'll start with you, Athena. What is the last thing that you watched?
The last thing that I watched was The Breakfast Club.
Ooh, mess with the
Tell us.
bull.
Tell me about your first, I'm guessing your first viewing of The Breakfast Club.
Well, I actually thought it was gonna be a way more coming of age movie, like over 5 years, let's say. They all went
Ah,
to college together and it's a very long-term movie. This is like 1 day, and I was really not expecting that at all because that was actually the first movie that I seen that was just in sort of one time setting, like a very, small part of their life. Um, but it was a very big part of their life, at the same time. It
mhm.
really changed them all for the better. So I really like that because I really connected that. And I just graduated high school. And so that I felt was the perfect time to watch The Breakfast Club for the first time, even though I'm really late on the hype. But I would say that's a
Which character do you feel? Who are you? Who are you in The Breakfast Club?
shoot. Oh, I feel like I'm a lot like on my inner is a lot. I forgot the name of him, but he wears a green sweater and he's blonde. He's
The
sort of
nerd.
Oh, is that
yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall?
Yeah.
Am I making
Yes,
that up?
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. The
Honey,
nerd.
yeah. So I think on the inside,
Well, preppy. Is he the preppy?
No, the preppy is Emilio Estevez, isn't he?
No, I thought Emilio was the bad guy or the bad boy,
No.
like
No,
bad
the
boy.
bad boy
Okay.
is John Bender, played by Judd Nelson. Guys, I
Judd
know The Breakfast
Nelson.
Club.
Okay, gotcha. Yes. And
yes.
preppy is Amelia. You're right. Oh my goodness. I it's funny, The Breakfast Club is one of those movies that I thought I'd watched, and I realized I'd just seen so many clips and homages. And so finally one time I sat down, I said, I'm going to watch this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, Okay, because I'm a huge Ferris Bueller fan. Ferris Bueller all the way, and it has like the same prince or someone is Simon it, but it's that same thing of kind of being over the span of like a couple of days or one day off, but being this huge story that's packed into this very kind of small and simple premise. So I really enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. This like the perfect time for you to be watching.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I actually felt bad that I didn't watch it because I saw all those clips online, and it was endless. It's not like the trend for the Breakfast Club starts. It is completely continuous throughout, and it's gonna
Mhm.
keep going.
Yeah,
So I felt really bad that I didn't watch it. But I
it'll
really,
be
really,
there.
yeah, yeah.
You've seen it now, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
All right, Stacey, what is the last thing you watched?
The last thing I watched was Bullet Train, which was amazing. We saw it in 4DX, which, okay, amazing, amazing experience. There's not a single way that that ticket can be less than $40. So I'm really wondering how that's going to play out, but it was a lot of fun. The movie was amazing. So many fun cameos. The action was intense and thrilling. They did a lot of, gore for gore's sake stuff, but I am a pro at this point of knowing exactly when something disgusting is going to come on screen, and I can do the quick, head toss and make sure that I don't see it and, am damaged for life. So outside of all of that, perfect movie. It was such a good time.
That's so funny that you say that. I Bullet Train was actually my answer to something I just discovered. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it now. We'll skip it later. Because it was fun. It was action packed. It's very gory, which I don't mind. My problem was it's stupid. It's like just really stupid.
I
So
love that about it.
you need to know that it's also
Mhm.
too long. For something that stupid, it's
Yeah.
too long. That said, yeah, if you want something stupid, it's really fun. Sure, watch it. But know that it's really stupid.
It's very stupid, but there's a difference between like stupid fun and then like stupid annoying. And so that was
Yes.
stupid fun to me. And really, the bar was low. I was not expecting much at all. And so the fact that it exceeded my expectations really just meant that it came up to normal for everyone else. But I was over the moon. I was like, yep, good time. Would do again.
You're totally right. It was stupid fun. But I just need it on the record.
Yes.
Um the last thing that I watched was actually Luck, which is a
Mm.
new Apple TV Plus film. It is about a girl who has very bad luck and then discovers the secret magical world of luck. Um, I will say it is for children. It
Oh,
is too long for children. And this is
yeah.
like not YA, it's like younger. It is too long for a children's movie. Um, Look, I love cats. I'm a big cat person, as you can tell. Very obsessed. I've got a cat woman with a bunch of cats poster. Like, I love cats. So there being cats in this should have entertained me for hours.
Simon Pegg as a cat. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know
I
that that was a match.
It was not a match. It was a disappointing portrayal of cats, everybody.
You know, it's funny because you mentioned it was 2 hours. I'm wondering if they
Oh, I said
did
it was
that
too long. I
or
don't know
I'm
if it was
sorry,
2 hours.
yes, really, yes. I honestly don't even know how long it was. It felt like 2 hours. But I wonder if that's an Apple thing because they knew that it was gonna be streaming, and so it wouldn't
Oh.
be kids in a theater for an hour and a half or more, but kids at home where maybe you can put it in 2 installments or something.
That's a good point. Athena, are you a binger or are you a take breaks when you watch stuff?
Oh, I take breaks. Well, I actually I set up my at home gym with like the bike and the
Ooh.
treadmill
Oh,
right
so responsible.
facing my TV. So because I sit down and I'm like, oh, I want to move, but I want to like watch this at the same time. I have all this burst of energy, but no, I want to watch that. So then I just go on like the treadmill for a bit to exert some energy. So I do need breaks, but no, I like binging and I have binged all of the Breaking Bad. Like all the TV, all the episodes.
Ooh, that's a tough one to binge.
It is slow. It is slow, but
Or
it
not
was,
so it's intense.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like
Yeah, and it's also like it's connecting back to what you said about like a stupid fun sort of thing.
Mhm.
Because if I'm feeling lighthearted, I just went through a really rough day. I just need something like happy and rainbows and colorful. Nothing bad is happening. I just need complete goodness. That's when I'll watch something like, stupid fun.
Mhm.
That's when you should watch Luck.
Okay.
I don't want to think about it. It's pretty, it's colorful. Yeah, watch Luck.
I will say, yeah, it was pretty, it was colorful. There was something missing. There was something that was too much and something that was not enough in terms of making it really kind of hit that Pixar, even though it's not Pixar. I know it's,
Right.
Skydance, but hitting that Pixar level of, kind of perfection. There was something where it just didn't level up for me.
I agree. It definitely doesn't have the right balance because I know I was sitting with you and it was dark. That beginning was dark.
It was
And
really like emotionally dark.
and then it becomes this other weird story. And then the like resolution is just like oh, okay. So the
It was
balance is
fine.
off. It's but that's Luck. Let's move
Athena,
it
it
along.
is. It,
Uh,
I have to really set the scene here. Like this girl's a klutz, but and people are laughing because all this bad stuff is happening to her. But it's like, no, this isn't funny. This is horrifying. Like any other read of this would be really, really sad. I talked to a girl leader. She was like, I cried at the beginning, and I was like, I get it. I get it. They got me at the end though. I cried like a baby at the end.
Really putting people through like a wave of emotions. I think you're like,
Yes.
yeah, the end of it lost me. What is a show or movie you just discovered? I had said Bullet Train, but we already talked about that. Athena, what did you just discover?
I have just discovered Top Gun, the one that just came
Oh,
out.
The new
oh,
one.
okay, the new one.
Yes, the new one. And I didn't think that I would like, because I like action movies, but I don't like too much action because if I watch it in theaters, my eyes actually have a hard time paying attention. It's just there's
Yeah.
so many details that it actually gets fuzzy. So I don't
Mhm.
normally like too much action, but I loved Top Gun. I literally wanted to ask my mom if she could put me in like airplane lessons or something, just because I fell in love with like the entire movie from the beginning to the end. Oh, and I have this. He was my new celebrity crush. I forgot his name, but he was the guy that was like playing piano. I was like, oh my god, he can
Oh,
play
was
piano.
it Miles Teller? We can't.
Probably.
Oh yes, yes it was. It
We
was.
got to talk about Miles Teller. That might actually be its own episode. So we'll talk about that later.
This is the Miles Teller hour.
Oh my goodness. I love Glenn Powell, and then Jay Ellis was in that too. And there were a few people, but Top Gun is another movie where I'm like, oh yeah, of course I watched Top Gun. It's the one where he's in the socks and he's sliding across the floor, and they're like, no, no. And I'm
No,
like, oh, it's the one where he's a sports agent, and no, 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 no.
no.
You know. So I'm just like, okay, I haven't seen Top Gun, so.
Athena, did you watch the first Top Gun or did you just watch the new one?
No, I only watched the new one. I know. Like it's so it's not bad to say, but it's like when I go to my Greek family and they're like, "Oh, so you still don't speak Greek?" And they're all like, and I'm like, that's the same reaction that I get when I tell somebody that I didn't watch like the
You're like,
first of something that was like in the like not my generation, and I'm like, oh god, I didn't watch the first one. Yeah, it's on my list to watch.
Uh-huh. All right, I'm not judging you. Stacey, what is a show or movie you just discovered?
So I literally just got invited to a screening for this movie called Beauty. It stars Giancarlo Esposito, Niecy Nash. It was written by Lena Waithe. It's like this actual movie. It's on Netflix right now. I had no clue this movie existed, and it sounds fantastic. So I can't wait to go see it. But I was just like, it's insanity to me that Lena Waithe wrote a movie that has Giancarlo Esposito, Niecy Nash, all these people, and I had not a clue. And so
Did
I'm just
we
like,
do we
oh,
know what it's about?
So, well, let me tell you, it is about a singer called Beauty. And I thought that I had it. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to give you the official thing. A young singer on the brink of a promising career finds herself torn between a domineering family, industry pressures, and her love for her girlfriend, starring Niecy Nash, Gracie Marie Bradley, Giancarlo Esposito, and Sharon Stone, written by Lena Waithe. And it's airing on Netflix. It came out June 29th, so y'all go see it. Or,
Wow.
look it on. Yeah. I was
I
shocked.
Yeah, I have not heard of this either. That sounds fascinating, and what a cast.
I know. It's wild.
Cool. Well, I'm excited for that review.
Add it to
Whenever,
your queue.
yeah, fascinating. All right, what is your go-to comfort movie or show, Athena?
Futurama.
Interesting. Why?
Bender.
Ah.
Tell me why this is your comfort movie or show.
I really don't know what makes it so good, and I've tried to put words to it and to this amazing feeling that I get from watching it, but I just don't know what to say. It's the drawings, because when people watch cartoons, it's a lot about the actual artist and how they draw, that why people watch some cartoons. And that's the same thing for me, because if I don't like the drawings, then I don't want to watch it. But I love these drawings. Everything about it is so funky, and I'm so into like sci-fi. And this show Futurama is about the future. And this guy sort of goes in accidentally. It's so funny. Like there's just so many like little things, like a trip here and there, or a snap of a finger that nobody sees, and it's just hilarious because the timing is so perfect of it all. It's a really great TV show, and I've watched it like 8 times. Yeah.
That's
It's a
amazing.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Stacey, are you a fan of Futurama?
Oh yeah. Yep. Because it's the creator of The Simpsons
Mhm.
did it. And so I remember at the time that it came out, it was a very big deal and everyone was watching. Then it kind of had a hiatus. And then it came back and I watched then. I was like, yep, still great.
That's so interesting. I watched it. I remember when it first came out, I watched it then, and then I fell off. And recently, I don't know, in the last 5 years, I was on someone's podcast. They were like, "We're going to talk about it, so here are the episodes you have to watch." And they gave me a list, and the episodes were like specifically told one like subplot story, and I was like, "Oh, this is fascinating." If somebody could
It's
give
very
me
smart. Yeah.
the episodes in order of subplot stories, that I could watch it, because I'm not a big fan of watching week to week where at some point you go, "Oh, we wrapped up a storyline they introduced 3 seasons ago." Like, I would prefer you tell me, "Okay, if you watch these episodes, we'll tell you this whole storyline."
Right.
So it's a really interesting and intricate show when you actually think about it, but when you watch it just like random episodes here and there, it's kind of like, "All right, there's a show." You know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But it's a good pick. Stacey, what is your go-to comfort show or movie?
This one, Yael was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Just you wait." So the movie Tropic Thunder by Ben Stiller, directed by Ben Stiller, starring RDJ and Ben and Jack Black. So in the movie, RDJ's character says, "I'm gonna stay in character, or I'm gonna stay in character all the way through the DVD commentary." And so, literally, in the DVD commentary, it's Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and then RDJ in character doing his entire shtick throughout the entire thing. And it is fantastic. Now, I know it's funny because that character, of course, got a lot of flack. I am one of those people where I understood the satire and the commentary that he was making because he was very blatant about it. And in order to do something like that, oh, do you know this movie at all, Athena?
Yes, I
Oh, okay.
do.
And so I'm like, if you're going to do commentary like that, I need you to be explicit that, hey, this is what we're doing. We're not, doing blackface for blackface sake or whatever. This is like sending this message. And so I was fine. And I absolutely loved that movie and that character. But that commentary at the end took me down. And because they do talk about just the ridiculousness and the obnoxiousness, because then, even then, at the end of the commentary, once he slips back into his Australian accent, then in the commentary, he slips into Australian. And so it's just this whole ongoing performance art nonsense. And I think I've watched the commentary more than I've watched the actual movie just by itself. It's very fun.
Wow. Well, thank you for letting us know about that. I've seen that film a few times,
Mhm.
and now I will 100% watch it with the commentary.
It's so worth it. Of course, for the real like nerds, they have one that is Justin
Is
ah,
it Justin
uh,
Long?
b- no. He's the producer. He's
Oh,
with them. He has the I love him, but he has the diamond. He was dating Jennifer Aniston for like a good minute.
oh, Justin
I'll
Theroux.
think. Thoreau, thank you. Yes, there we go. Yes, him and Ben Stiller, they have like a producer director commentary, and that
Okay.
one's very informational and blah blah blah. But the first one, the actor commentary, mwah, so good.
I'm glad that comforts you.
It really
Um,
does. It's wild. It does.
my go-to comfort show movie is Shrek. I will say all of the Shreks,
Donkey.
but Shrek is just, I think, one of the best princess movies. I think that it has, at least the first one for sure, has such a beautiful message about loving yourself for who you are, and this idea that beauty is not what you might expect, and I love that. Um, at some point, we kind of lose that storyline for Princess Fiona, but that's fine. I'm excited for Shrek 5. I am like genuinely, I think, the biggest Shrek fan. I know
You
like
know,
people are like, oh, Shrek's good. If it's on TV, I will watch it.
you're
I will be
watching
like,
it.
I don't know what we're doing. We're watching Shrek now.
They were one. Was that one of the first movies that like really put DreamWorks on the maps?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think it was. I remember when it came out, it was a big deal and it was very good. And it was literally one of those things where I think it really kind of made Disney take notice, especially
Mhm.
when they were aligned with Pixar at that point. Like, oh, we got to step up our game because these dudes are on our heels. Like, Shrek was huge and probably still is.
I mean, it is in my household. Athena, have you seen all the Shreks?
I haven't seen all of them. Actually, no, I have. I have seen all the Shreks.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I like Shrek a lot. I love Donkey. When you said that, that got me. That really got me. I
Like
remember going
Puss in
to,
Boots
yeah,
with those
oh,
big eyes. He's like,
I remember going to Universal Studios when I was a kid and going to there was I think
Shrek
a
the
full
Ride.
movie of Shrek. But it was really like you were like completely in the actual wherever it was. Um and it was like the best experience of my entire life. I still remember it so vividly, even though I was like 8 years old. But I remember everything and the sounds. I think it was one of the first movies that I ever watched as a kid that um had a character I looked up to that wasn't human. If that
Mm,
makes sense. Like it was
yeah,
like the first for me, I think. Yeah, yeah,
I love that.
That's a
Yeah.
really good point.
yeah.
Mhm. I was a
I
frog
like
and
that.
toe girl. Those are my homies. I was like,
Oh.
I understand you. I
Uh,
wanted to ask, what did you think of the Pentaveret? Did you
who
watch?
are
No.
you asked?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, or
I was
either
like,
one.
who are you
It's
asking?
Oh.
Mike Myers. So, and of course, he did Shrek, and I guess he's doing Shrek 5. Was that exclusive? I don't know anything about that, but that
No,
would be amazing.
I mean, there's been rumors of a fifth Shrek,
Oh,
and I
okay.
am holding a torch.
Well,
Just
there
me.
we go.
Just me.
Well, but he recently released a series called The Pentaveret on Netflix, and it is interesting.
It did not
Question
do
mark.
well.
It
Oh.
probably should not have, but there are shades. That's the thing that kills me, is that there are shades of the Mike Myers we know and love,
Hmm.
and then there are just fart jokes galore. You're just like, oh, you're so close. Oh. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Last question for today's show is, what was the show or movie you were obsessed with growing up? Athena, start us off.
Okay, so I actually wanted to say two. The first one is Annoying Orange, found on YouTube. Not the picture. Yeah, I think my favorite episode is the one with the marshmallow. So remember to watch the marshmallow.
Oh, that guy. Okay, yes.
And then my second one is Tupi and Binu.
That's this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Tupi, Binu, Binu.
So that one took a bit to find because it seems to be very Canadian.
It's Canadian.
Really?
Yes, that is a very yeah.
No, I've been saying that to like everyone I know.
And they're
Canadian.
like,
Very Canadian.
What? I did not know that was only Canadian. Wow. Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
What is the premise of this show?
Tupi and Binu. So I think Tupi is the one that's the big rat. No. Tupi is the this rat has like a stuffed toy. And the stuffed toy is the white thing called Tupi. And then Binu is the big rat. And they're friends in this household. And they go around like doing stuff in the house when the parents or when the people aren't home. Yeah.
So is this like a prequel to Ratatouille? Is that what we're?
Oh, yeah.
Which character did you like better?
Okay. I definitely liked the personality of Tupi, the stuffed toy, but because Tupi actually didn't talk, it was only Binu talking the entire time. So I wanted to talk, so I think I would like both. But if I were to be a character, I would be Binu because he's just so funny. He's awesome. Yeah.
I wonder if they were influenced by Ren and Stimpy at all. There's something very Ren and Stimpy-esque about like the animation and the way they look.
That's so funny. I was thinking Tom and Jerry.
Oh, well, yeah, that too, of course.
Are you familiar with Tom and Jerry, Athena?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a lot of not old TV shows, but like cartoon TV shows before 2010, before that were invented before 2010, are always about that pair,
right?
Like, the two Binu, Tom and Jerry, blah blah. Like it's always the two.
Yeah, that is true. I think that's a really good point. All right, Stacey, what were you obsessed with growing up?
Newsies all day, every day. I was obsessed. When I tell you, see, that's the we don't mess with the Broadway musical. Okay,
Sorry.
We are purists, not just like, but Christian Bale, David Moscow, Gabriel, Damon, yes, and just Michael Lerner, Bill Pullman. And I'm blanking on his name right now, but basically it was the story of Newsboys strike of whenever, and it just featured a lot of singing, dancing, and singing and dancing boys. It was right. It was it was choreographed by and directed by the same dude who did High School Musical. And so I said, Newsies walked so High School Musical could run.
I see.
Or so it could dance, rather. Kenny
so
Ortega.
Funny.
There we go. Kenny Ortega. But it's so fun.
Yes.
I love that movie. And I mean, I was very much a church kid growing up, like 100%. And we had two movies that we could watch all together without any problems. And one was Newsies and the other was Sister Act 2. And so between those two, we learned every word, every dance move. We would go and do like all of the dances pre TikTok. We had it going on, and it was just everything. But yeah, that's my like nostalgia. Like that movie lives in my heart. I adore it.
Okay. Athena, have you seen Newsies?
I haven't.
Yeah, me
You
neither.
should see it. I don't know if it holds up, but it's worth a try.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, when I was growing up, I was obsessed with X-Men, the animated series,
Ooh,
which is
Wasserman.
timely because Disney Plus is kind of bringing it back with a continuation. And the X-Men were my favorite superheroes, still are my favorite superheroes, and have like influenced a lot in my life. And so that was a show that I watched. Hilariously, most of the voice actors were Canadian.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ron Wasserman, a friend of mine, he's a musician, and so he met Ron Wasserman at some musical convention. He's the guy who wrote the X-Men theme. And so they've been doing all these TikToks together where they watch other people like do parodies on the theme or do different variations on the theme, and he comments and reacts to them. And he seems like such a fun guy, and I love just seeing everybody how they're still so influenced by that show. It was awesome.
It really was one of the best like superhero animated shows. And I know that it historically people have talked about how the animated series basically just took the comic and like made it action. So they took the storyline and almost word for word just like made it into the cartoon, which is
But it
why
worked.
everyone's so annoyed that the movies are just such a terrible deviation when you could take the cartoon and turn that into live action, and then you have it's literally just step up.
Yeah.
But no, they have to destroy the storylines.
You know, it's interesting because X-Men, I was a huge Storm fan, and it was one of those things where I think I shipped before I even knew what shipping was, and because I love Storm and Cyclops, those were the two I wanted them together, and I was like, we got to see how this works, and I was like, Jean Grey's getting in the way, but and so, but it's so interesting because I kind of like what they're doing with certain X-Men, like in the Deadpool kind of
Mm.
universe of it all, but it seems like they just can't figure out how to get all these people together. And I'm like, it should be so easy. The source material is right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my most infuriating things is there's source material and then we saw it happen with a cartoon. A cartoon did it in a way that
Beautifully.
like children understood it. Why are we not just seriously just take the cartoon, even have the people not talk, just like have the cartoon audio. You know what I mean? Sorry, I could go off on this tangent for a long time, but those are our questions. Before we go, Athena, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social medias and remind us where we can see your projects?
Okay. So Instagram, which is the social media I use, I think I use the most, is ITS Athena Park, which is it's Athena Park.
It's
And
Athena.
yeah, it's Athena. And then Twitter is the same thing. And then Facebook is Athena Park. And then YouTube is Athena Park. And also my second song that I've ever made called, actually, I don't know a title for it yet. But
Oh, okay.
it's coming
TBD.
out, yeah. And it's coming out August 3rd, I think. And yeah, you can find that on all streaming platforms. And
August 3rd is tomorrow.
Yay.
oh, no way. That's tomorrow.
Yay.
Oh my goodness, I have to think of a title.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got to think of a title.
Be like, yes, I love her song. It's
Untitled number 2.
like.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, before we wrap, this is a reminder that the Hollywood Critics Association has lots of amazing content coming out each week, including after shows and Pop Council on Mondays and so much more. Until next time, Stacey, where are you on the internet and what are you up to these days?
Instagram at Sticky Keys, STICKYKEYS. Also on Twitter, but I'm mostly on Instagram. And I am just out in these streets, honey. We are just going to places and telling the people about it. So look me up.
Awesome. I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That is YAELTYGIEL. You can find me here on Tuesdays talking about everything I'm watching. Sundays, I will be back with the new season of SVU on my podcast, Law and Order S Review. And I'm going to start doing more Twitch streams right after this. I'm going to Twitch. I'm going to play a game very poorly. So if you would like to join me there, do that. Thank you again, Athena, and we'll see you all next time.
Yay! Bye.